So why should you compete every day? Why does it matter? What's so important about learning to be a competitor? See, for a lot of times, I think it's important to us. But in reality, I think it's more important to the people that we live life with, that we run with, that we work with, that we invest our time with. Here's why. If you're like me, you've encountered some adversity in life. You've had a setback, you've had a failure, something hasn't gone your way, and for all intents and purposes, we isolate ourselves. We don't talk about our failures, we don't talk about our setbacks. We feel like we're the only ones that can relate to this exact situation that we've either fallen into or gotten ourselves into. No one else out there can relate to what we're going through, and so honestly, it's like we're standing alone on a battlefield against a Goliath without a slingshot or a rock or a prayer to win. And we think we're all alone and no one can relate to us. But in all reality, there are hundreds, if not thousands of people out there going through the exact situation we're going through, maybe going through harder situations than we're going through, yet they're coming out the other side. But because we don't see them, because we can't acknowledge or know about their story, we feel like we're all alone. But that's not necessarily the case. You see, as soon as we see that person going through the same situation we're going through, as soon as we learn their story on social media or in the news or through a friend, and we start to believe that maybe we have a chance to win. Well, if this person did that, maybe I can too. Oh my gosh, I followed this person on Instagram and everything that they were going through and talking about is exactly what I'm going through and what I'm feeling, and they're finding a way to win. And maybe I can too. And so this whole dialogue in our head changes. We go from being in a battle with a Goliath that we'll never defeat to believing that perhaps there's a chance. Just a chance that we can win. And the moment we start to believe we can win, we act accordingly. Everything about us changes. The words we use, the actions we take, the way we live our life changes because we believe there's a chance to win. You see, for every great underdog story, they didn't need the odds in their favor. They didn't need the most talented player. They just needed a small chance to win. And they seized it. They took hold and they ran with it. The same applies to our life. The moment we make that shift, the moment we start to believe we can win, the moment we start competing, not only does our life change, but everyone else around us watching us, their lives change too because they see the change in us. They start to become inspired by the actions we're taking, the changes that we're making in our life, and they want to know two things. How did you do it? And how can I? You see, they want to know about your mindset shift into believing you can win and choosing to compete, and they want to know how they can do it in their own life. You go from just being that person or that friend to the person that made me believe in myself. You go from being that woman to the lady I work with that finally taught me not to give up. You go from just someone to that someone that changed my life. You see, that's why it matters that we compete. It's not necessarily for our goals and our pursuits in our life, but it's to impact and influence everyone else that we interact with on a daily basis, because one interaction can permanently change your trajectory. One interaction, conversation, chance meeting where they see what it looks like to compete, they adopt that, and their entire life is changed. So that's why it matters that you compete. That's why it matters you give your 100% best effort. That's why you do your best every day. That's why you rebound from setbacks and failures. That's why you compete, is to make that impact on your life and everyone else's. Be a competitor.